Okay, so this brings us in then to step 2, where we're going to begin our analysis of the requirements. Now, if we have a look again at our requirements for our Section B exam question, what we need to do first of all is go through these requirements and make sure we understand what area of the syllabus is being examined or tested in this question. By doing that, we'll understand what theory knowledge is it that we are going to use to build our final answer. So having a look through then, we're asked in part A, explain the term conflict of interest. Okay, well that's just theory knowledge, so a conflict of interest. And when someone who is supposed to be independent has some other interest or link with the person or function from which they are supposed to be independent. So, for example, we could have a conflict of interest for our auditors, external or internal, So, we have to explain the term conflict of interest in the context of non-executive directors. So, we're looking specifically at NEDs. And discuss the potential conflicts of interest relating to KK and Soria Supplies if John Soria were to become a non-executive director of KK Limited. 8 marks available in total. So, we know what area of the syllabus we're looking at then. We're looking at NED independence and specifically conflicts of interest. But we are going to have to clearly look at exactly what's going on in the scenario. There's obviously going to be a few things which are creating conflicts for John Soria or compromising his independence as a NED. Part B then, we have to assess the advantages of appointing experienced and effective non-executive directors to the KK board during the period in which the company was growing rapidly. Now, I'm assuming if you've prepared, revised your theory knowledge for P1, then at some point you have probably learnt off a list of the advantages of non-executive directors. So why is it such a good idea to have independent NEDs on the board? Now that's great news if you're prepared and you have that theory knowledge. We will be using that to build our answer. However, just be careful. We're not going to be able just write down generically the advantages of non-executive directors. We are going to have to place this in the context of the scenario. So why would it be an advantage for KK Limited to have NEDs on the board? Step 3. Explain the typical contents of a best practice corporate governance report within an annual report and how its contents could help meet the information needs of Finn Broon. Okay, so again, first bit, best practice corporate governance reports. That's just theory. So what are our corporate governance disclosures in the annual report? And again, we're going to have to look in the context of the scenario. We're going to need to understand who is Finn Broon, what are their information needs, and from that we can establish how would this best practice report assist them. So, that's our first step then, second step, just understanding what areas of the syllabus are being examined in each of our 3 requirements.